Ladies, good morning, good
What's
morning.
up? What's up, malaki? What's up?
What's going on over there?
Good.
I think you Filipinos are running wild in my absence.
Yeah.
Yeah, Flo, I observed that the minute I left, you moved back in.
Yeah, because you're not.
Folks, that's a lot of love right there. That's a lot of love. The minute I leave, she moves back in.
Sometimes I.
Well, I guess what I'm concerned about, though, Flo.
Oh, Marites.
Well, let's talk some Mary Tess. Like, okay, when you're not living there, I've observed that you spend a lot of time with your boyfriend.
Ano?
You know, being like one big happy family with Upal's father.
Ano? Ano gagawin?
But then but then when I let you stay with us or you move back in, you take over my couch and my TV, then you don't want to spend any time with your boyfriend.
Ang Marites naman.
And that's what I've observed.
Ano? Omong ka.
Can you elaborate on that? Maybe explain why that happens?
Uy, Marites ka man.
Well, I mean, it's almost like watching my big screen TV is more important than spending tenderoni time with your boyfriend over there. You have any comment on that?
No comment.
I mean, I don't want the young man to get upset. What do I got to do? Turn the internet off so you'll go spend some time with the guy?
Ano? Internet is like.
Well, that's what I'm afraid of, right? I'm afraid that you're over there playing Facebook and watching Tagalog soap operas and you're neglecting your man over there. That's the problem.
As long as there's internet, I'm happy.
Well, baby, the internet can't make you happy like a man can make you happy. It's a difference.
No, internet can make me happy.
So you're telling me that the ability to play Facebook and lay on the couch with a remote watching soap operas, that's more important than the love of your life?
Secret.
I mean, I'm just trying to get.
Ako lang ginahimong ko lang ni Roder eh. Topic. Topic.
I mean, I think your boyfriend is just praying that I get back there soon.
Ano?
Like, man, I hope he gets back and kicks this chick off the couch so, you know, we can spend some time together. Flo, we're just trying. We're just trying to. We care about you. We're worried about you here. And Fatima, you're what we call an enabler. You're enabling her to lay on that couch and play Facebook and not, you know, not help her nurture her relationship over there. That's what I'm concerned about.
Marites, finish ang mo yun.
Why is it that Filipinas love to do chismes and they're meritus unless we're talking about you?
You do Marites. See, Daddy, you're so Marites, Daddy.
Because when people start talking about you, you don't want to do meritus anymore.
Ano? What's it? Marites.
Fatima, borderline hoo-ha violation. Watch the camera. The big leg's okay, but watch the hoo-ha. Baby, it's a family-friendly show I'm trying to run here. Ladies, this is about the most boring conversation I've had with anybody in the past 2 years.
And we're not ready. You just come here. Oh gosh.
Oh, I can see it's about 10, 11 in the morning. You're probably sound asleep. I woke you up.
Yes, you're right. I do like this in our couch.
Hey folks, how's everybody doing? Hope y'all doing well wherever you're at on this beautiful planet that we call the Earth. I'm doing well, just living the dream. But haven't been out and about much lately. I've been on this couch. People have been asking, "Hey man, why you been on that couch for a week?" So I figured out a address that, right? You know, life ain't always perfect. It's about, peaks and valleys, highs and lows, ups and downs. You know, everything from rich to bankruptcy and, everything in between. I mean, life's a roller coaster, at least it is in my life. And so sometimes everything ain't pretty, right? Or you perceive everything to not be pretty. So I've been on this couch for like a week, for the most part. And I figured I would talk about that. So sometimes I'll talk about creative block. I can't force creativity. Creativity in my world can't be forced. It can be encouraged with a few beers or some rum, rum and coke, Jack and Coke, what have you. But in the end, it can't be forced. And there's so many times where I open up this camera and I stare into it, talking to you, staring directly in this lens, in the lens of a camera, and I have nothing to say. You think you do, and then when you get everything set, hit the record button, there's nothing. There's just nothing that comes to mind. And I can't force it. Things just come to me. Like if I read a headline of an article that interests me, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to talk about that. Why? Just pique my interest. But like trying to sit down and say, okay, I got to publish a video today. If nothing comes to mind, I can't force it. That's what happens. Sometimes I just open the camera, nothing happens. Sometimes I open the camera, I just make something up on the spur of the moment and start talking about what's in my mind at the time. Anyhow, you can't force creativity. So what's happened to me the past few days is I load up my camera, tripod, so many things. If you just leave your house, there's so many things to get into, right? Anywhere you're at in the world. Whether it's going eating some pancakes, and you can talk about how excellent those pancakes are at your local diner, or you can go out in the woods and sit by a creek and talk about nature. So I would get on the Dream, I call it the bad Dream, my Honda. I ride around to a lot of my favorite spots, and I would just do a drive-by. I just kept going. Just couldn't bring myself to pull in and park, take off my helmet, get the camera out of the backpack, start filming and start talking to y'all. I mean, I just couldn't do it. I've got so many, hidden spots, secret spots that I go to relax and just find some peace and tranquility. I showed y'all down there at the temple, which is one of my spots I go to. But I kept going to other places, and I found myself just driving by, eventually turning around, coming back to the barn with nothing. And I would just end up right back on this couch. So I don't know if it's creative block, missing my kids, missing the ladies. But anyhow, I couldn't bring myself to execute, And I'm sure y'all all have been there and felt that way. And I'm a firm believer, like if you're sick or you don't feel good at that, that particular day, just go to work and don't feel good at work and still get paid. But it don't work like that when you're creating something from scratch and nobody's telling you what to do. At least not in my world. So I just couldn't come up with nothing. It's like writer's block, creative block. I come back, I sit on this couch. Now let me say that for the longest time, I didn't watch TV or movies or anything. You know, when I first moved to Southeast Asia, I didn't watch anything. I was hanging out in bars and out in the, running to the clubs and running the roads, just having a great time. So there's a lot of movies, a lot of shows that I'm just like recently discovering, and some shows from way back in the '90s, what have you. I just never watched a whole lot of TV, right? Since the '80s. Like, if you ask me to name TV shows, I'm talking like Sanford and Son, Cheers, Good Times, Married with Children, stuff like that, right? Just don't watch a lot of TV. If I watch YouTube videos, it's like documentaries. And I find myself, not even watching those too much anymore, right? So anyhow, I sit down on this couch, I'm scrolling through, and I see The Sopranos. Now, I vaguely knew what The Sopranos was. I knew it was something about a mafia family or what have you. But back in the day, I remember everybody used to watch The Sopranos. I never watched not one episode of that. It just didn't interest me. Like, most of these cop shows don't interest me. Anything from Law and Order to what's that shit, NCIS, all that bullshit a lot of people watch. I never was interested in watching that bullshit, right? But I stumbled across The Sopranos. I said, all right, let me go to episode 1, season 1, and see what all the hype was about. Let's see, it was, what did it run until 2007? So like or 06, 07, anyhow. So it's been what? I don't know, over 10 years since the last episode. Anyhow, got a little age on it. So I watched that first episode. I was like, holy shit, now I understand why everybody in America used to watch the show and talk about it, right? It's just a really good show. And so what happened, I just found myself on this couch drinking beer, binge watching The Sopranos. It was like I was in, I think there's 86 total episodes. It's like I was in 86 sessions of therapy. You know what I mean? Obviously part of the show, he's talking to his shrink. But like watching that show and sitting here drinking beer, it was therapeutic. There's so many like life lessons that I think anyone can relate to. Dealing with elderly relatives to dealing with the kids that aren't following your plan in life, So anyhow, where have I been? Most of the time I've been on this couch right here with a beer in my hand, binge watching The Sopranos, just pondering the philosophy and a lot of things. And, I thought it was a really good show. It was a really good show, really good series. The ending kind of left it, it was what's it called? Climactic. It's like it wasn't finished, right? It's like that's the end. Come on, it's not a way to end the series, but so between The Sopranos, I'm straight now, right? I'm still not up to getting back in the groove of producing award-winning travel shows every day. I'm not back to that, but I'm getting back. I'm doing much better. I sat here, I binge watched The Sopranos. Then I had a buddy of mine come into town out of the blue, my buddy Doc Wayne. I got to hang out with him for 3 days. And spent a lot of time talking to my buddy on the phone. Another buddy of mine back in the States. And then you combine all that stuff with, went and hung out with a friend of mine. She works at a massage shop. That's another story. But all that like combined together, it just put me back on the right track. Now, I got the old lady, I got the ladies over there, I got the kids. Obviously, you can't let them see or know that maybe you're in a low spot, right? You got to put on a face and keep everything happy and positive. When you're talking to your kids and the old lady and stuff like that. I mean, I don't know what your relationship is with your old lady, but in my world, you tell all your woes to your best friend. My best friends who I talk to about things. You don't burden your old lady with all the fucking problems going through your head, right? So, anyhow, that's where I've been. If anybody wants to know, people send me something. Man, why you been on that couch? Why you sitting there doing talking head videos, sitting on the couch? Well, it wasn't my intent. I was going out every day, but it just turned into a big long motorbike ride, and then cut a U-turn and come back to the crib. That's where the wind blew me. That's where it blew me for the day. I got blown back to the crib. By the wind, not blown up, but blown back to the crib. Sitting here on this couch. So, something else that's therapeutic about this game, about talking to a camera. Even though I'm sitting here staring at this lens, technically I could be talking to 10,000 people. And that's therapeutic as well. It's soothing. It's just one of the things that, if I got a lot of shit on my mind, when I talk to a camera, make a video, talk about a subject, it always helps me. Anyhow, I just thought I would share that. I don't know why. Maybe I'm just being selfish. I'm just pouring my heart out about what's been going on the past week or so. Just haven't been feeling 100%. But every now and then you just need to take a break, slow down, smell the roses, watch a few episodes of The Sopranos, go visit your friend at the massage shop, talk to your buddies. Everything gets right back on track. See how that works? So I guess another thing that kind of put things in perspective. This is the second part of what I'll talk about. Like this past week, like a lot of people, well, people die all the time, but a lot of people that have connections to my world passed on. Now, not good friends, but just not friends, not even friends. Some of them not even acquaintances. Just a friend of a friend, what have you, went down. So I hear these stories. It's like my one buddy's talking about. He's got a group of friends that get together once a week. It's like 10 of them. In the last week, two of them kicked out. One guy found out he had cancer. 6 months later, boom, he died. A few days later of his death, dude perfectly healthy, boom, dead of a heart attack. I think the heart attack guy was 58. The cancer guy was like mid-60s. In the mission. They're gone. My one buddy has got a friend, 54, 55. I think it was, 54. Said all the dude talks about is retiring early. He's got 2 more years, 3 more years. He's going to retire. Just comes to work like, fuck you, motherfucker. I had 2 years. I'm going to retire. Long story short, dude had a massive stroke, fucking dead. End of mission. Never made it to retirement. He was looking for them 2 more years. Just excited, all he could think about. Stroke took him out. You got the shit that went down in Russia. All these people got gunned down trying to go to a concert from a music group called Picnic. What's the world coming to when you can't go see a band called Picnic without getting fucking gunned down by these dudes who, their appearance alone look like fucking just absolute dirtbags. The way the Russians handle them cats, dragging them in that courtroom. Fucking love it. Anyhow, I don't know. I guess maybe that's part of it. Just been a lot of people, a lot of stories of death recently. Hell, now last night you just had a goddamn bridge. I wasn't gonna cuss during this. You had a bridge collapse in the U.S., right? where bridges aren't supposed to collapse, but occasionally they do. Shit happens. Sitting there on a bridge 1 minute, doing whatever. Next thing you know, you're underwater, with the fishes. I don't know. All that stuff puts things in perspective for me. Just brings me back to the point that life is short. Live every day as though it were your last, because there's no guarantee that tomorrow's coming around. I'll keep saying it. Why do I always talk about it? Because I get so many messages, and I know a lot of y'all are doing research for your retirement, just counting down the days. But you always assume that you have time. And then I read this article today, and it was talking about how Social Security in the U.S. is going to be, the term they used, insolvent. Less than 10 years from now, it's going to be insolvent. Now, I'm a dumb redneck. I don't even know what the word insolvent means. So I had to look it up. It said unable to pay debts owed. And I'm sitting there thinking, damn, that's about 10 years from now. That's about the time that I could start drawing some of that free fucking money they stole from me. Getting some of my money back. But the Social Security Administration has already admitted in 10 years we can't fucking pay everybody. So what are we going to do? Cut benefits? Raise the age that you can... What's the world coming to here? But again, I got to catch myself and say, fool, there's no guarantee you're going to make it to 62. I mean, I hope to hell, and in my mind, I'm going to make it to 107. But if I do make it to 62, there might not be no money. But you know what? As long as I'm alive, I don't give a shit. I'll still be surviving. Anyhow, folks, just random thoughts that popped into my head. I said I'll open this camera, talk to everybody out there about a random range of topics, and just feel better. Just get it off my chest. So, there you go. Every show can't be an award-winning production. This is probably one of them that ain't going to go down in the history books as being award-winning. I did set the white balance manually, so hopefully I don't look like the past few videos I look too red. Part of it was because I was sunburned. Part of it, when y'all brought up, hey man, you got to set the white balance. You look like a tomato over there sitting on the couch. Hopefully my skin tone's a little bit better. But hey, shit happens. Well, folks, that's all I'm going to talk about. Yeah. Anyhow, thanks for staying with me. I'll be displacing from my current location here pretty soon. I'll be on the road for a while, and I'll be bringing back some good action, some good sights, some good scenery. Food, beer, travel, all that good stuff. Get my ass up off this couch, get back in the game. So just stay tuned. Bear with me. The kids, the old ladies, everybody's doing good. They're wonderful over there. Can't wait to get back to them. But between now and the time I get back, I got some other stops to make. And I'm going to take y'all with me. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for hanging with me. The only problem is, now that I've finished all those sessions of therapy watching The Sopranos, it's like, what do I do now? I don't know. Maybe tonight I'll watch American Gangster, or that John Gotti movie from the 90s, or just watch Goodfellas to get back on track.